Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 66 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. So, yay, I made it to day 66, and 2 6s, and 6 is my favorite number, so yay! I wish I could say today was like my favorite day, but not really. My head was like worse this morning. Did not want to let me sleep. And the order that I did for an air filter last night apparently was out of stock at the store, so I had to go to a different one today anyway to pick it up. So that was kind of pointless adventure for yesterday trying to order it online, to just do a pickup anyway. I had to go out of the house, so I may as well just go to the store in the first place. But I did save myself money because it was cheaper at the other store I had to go to. So yay, kudos for that, right? And I did turn my air conditioning on, which I think has helped my head a little bit, but it still hates me. That's just what I say when my head hurts and it's not doing what I want it to do. Anyway, I'd love to say that I was like really productive, did a whole lot of things today, like yesterday, and to be honest, I was actually grateful I did some dishes yesterday because then I didn't have to wash dishes today because I didn't have to, they weren't all dirty. So I could use the ones that I washed yesterday. And then when I did heat up some leftover spaghetti, I just put away the dishes I washed yesterday instead of washing more dishes today. Um, that still hurt my head too, but at least I did something. And I did manage to read my scriptures and meditationals and get out of my house to go get some air filter. And I did stop and get some Coke to help my head, and it helped for a little bit, but um, not a whole lot. So I'm really hoping I can sleep better because my house will be a little bit cooler. So yay for air conditioning. Very grateful for that. Very grateful for today. And I did have one of my program friends call me tonight. And we were just talking. I mean, she was asking me what I'm doing and all the vitamins and all the things that I'm taking. So we talked about that. And then we were talking about relationships and different things like that, and talking about how it's scary because it's nice the idea of being in a healthy relationship with some guy that actually cares about us, or having a healthy relationship instead of an abusive one, either verbally, physically, sexually abusive relationship. I think the verbally abusive ones are probably the hardest ones because it's easy to name physically abusive things or the sexually abusive things, but the verbally abusive ones make you doubt who you are and start questioning yourself and thinking that, your opinion's not good enough, or you did something wrong, or you deserve things. And people that are verbally abusive had a tendency to twist things around and put their shame or their guilt onto other people. And if you're around that long enough, you start to believe it. Or if that's the only thing you've ever been around, then you don't really have a reason to question it. Other than I think most of us have that little part inside of us that think there's something wrong with this. And when I was growing up and that was happening to me, I felt like there was something wrong with me because what I was feeling and feeling uncomfortable when I was being told these things, I felt like maybe it was because I did something bad and I felt guilty and I felt ashamed and I didn't know how to respond to it. And even though as an adult I now realize that it wasn't my fault, that I wasn't the one that was doing it, someone else was just blaming me for their actions or telling me that it was my fault or that they had to do what they were doing because of me, it's still hard to let go of that guilt and that shame. And it's so easy to take it on again when I get in relationships or things like that because it's so familiar. And because, I have that old default setting of I need to be a people pleaser. And if I get it right, um, then they'll love me and they'll take care of me. And I was talking to my friend about that idea, and I'm realizing as I was talking to her that I'm starting to get away from the idea of Prince Charming, because I think most of my life I kept thinking that I was going to run into some man that was going to fix me. I do everything for someone else, and some guy's going to come in and rescue me. He's going to save me from myself. He's going to love me. He's going to make me feel better about me. He's going to, pay all the bills so I don't have to worry about it. Do all the all the things that guys are supposed to do, and that's that stereotype. This is what guys are supposed to do. This is what women are supposed to do, I want to be the, stay-at-home mom and do all the cooking, and he can take care of the cars and do all the fixing of stuff around the house, and every little happy, perfect, ideal, whatever situation. And life isn't like that. And expecting someone else to fix me doesn't work. And I think I've come to a place in my life where I would like to have a relationship in the future, hopefully. That would be nice. Maybe even get married again, maybe have more kids. That would be nice. But if that doesn't happen, that's okay too, because I know that my higher power is helping fix me. Like, God is there to heal me. That's what the atonement is for. And I know that I can be happy without being with someone else. And I know that in a relationship, even if the other person is unhappy or they're acting out and doing things that aren't appropriate, I don't have to let that affect me. I can still choose my own attitude, and I can still choose to find the positive things. But there's also that catch for people like me and like my friend from program that we were talking about, that's hard for both of us, is that we have a tendency to go into survival mode and to make excuses for the abuses that happen, and assume that, well, it's okay, or it's just because they were drinking, or just because they were acting out, or just because they're having a bad day, or it's they're really sorry, or it's because I did something, and if I just change, if I'm just better, and I start to feel bad about myself, ashamed of myself, I don't like myself because that's how the other person is treating me, and I start to feel like or believe that I deserve that negative treatment, and that's how it's been like most of my life. And then, I had my confidence, I felt good about who I was, and I thought my ex really loved me for who I was, and then we got married, and he stopped doing all the stuff he did while we were dating, and he started avoiding me and was too busy to spend time with me, and I started to feel like I wasn't good enough, and I felt like afraid to talk to him or broach him about the subject. And, it was hard because he was always too busy. So obviously that relationship doesn't work if you can't talk to each other, you can't communicate, you're afraid of the other person. And talking to my friend tonight, I realized I'm like, I don't want a relationship where I'm afraid of someone else. I don't want a relationship where the person I'm with is ashamed to be with me, or doesn't want to be seen with me in public, or doesn't want to spend time with me. I want to be with somebody that wants to be with me. And she was talking about fantasizing about someone that wanted to be with her, that she wants to be with them, that treats her really well, instead of trying to fix her past relationships or the broken relationships that she's been in. Um, and I agreed with her. I liked her little positive looking to the future for something better or someone better, and that realization that what we think about, what we imagine or picture is what we attract, you know. And sometimes just people from my background, or just me, maybe my friend kind of seemed to relate to it. We kind of we attract people that are like the people in our past or that we grew up with, that remind us of our parents. They always say girls marry their dads and boys marry their moms, kind of a thing. I still think my brother married me. Not me per se, but my sister-in-law, whom I love. She's adorable, but she has a lot of similar character traits to me. So I'm just like, well, at least he didn't marry someone like our biological mom. But I mean, we both loved her, but he married someone that was a little bit more like me, because I always supported him. I backed him up. I made him feel better. So I was always his favorite sister. And so I don't know if I'm still his favorite sister, but my sister-in-law reminds me a lot of me. And always trying to like fix things and make things better, and very supportive of my brother. So like, I think he did okay getting married to her. They're very happy, so I'm very happy for them. But anyway, I was talking to my friend. I'm like, I see relationships like that, like, even people that they both come from messed up homes and they made a nice relationship and it works. And I see other people that make relationships work. So I'm like, I know it's possible. I know it's doable. I just don't know why it doesn't work for me. But I think part of it is I shut people out of my life or I shut off the idea of relationships because I have my fantasy relationships, and I can control those, and I can not be hurt by those. But I can be hurt in real life, and I think the more times I get hurt, I hold on to the hurt, and I don't want to move forward because I'm grieving or I'm hurting. And if I process the hurt and I let go of the hurt and I feel better, then I open myself up to be vulnerable. I open myself up to be hurt again. So I think there's that fear of letting go, because I'll get hurt again. I'll attract someone else that's the same. And part of attracting someone else that's the same is the idea that if I can make it work with this person that's crazy, like I don't realize, like, block out all the signs that say that they're, like my biological parents, or, abusive, whatever. And a lot of them are really good at hiding it too. So it's like, okay, you don't really get to know them until you're in the relationship, a lot further into the relationship, because it starts out really good until you think the whole relationship's going to be that way, and then it doesn't work out because it's the facade, it's the drawing in of whatever. But I think I attract those kinds of people just like my friend does, because that's what we're familiar with, it's what's comfortable. And it's also the idea that if we can make this work, then it fixes everything from the past. It's like a form of healing. If we can fix this, then it fixes everything that was broken before. And it's still the same idea, of someone coming in and fixing me instead of fixing myself, and letting God fix me. And it doesn't work, because you can't go into a relationship hoping to fix it, or hoping that the relationship will fix everything or fix me. And even though I have the idea in my head, I think that's a lot like what I've been doing in my videos with the gratitude and with the writing and staying in today. A lot of the things that I'm learning it takes time for those shifts to actually happen in my life, to where I respond differently than how I used to respond, where I see the positive things instead of the things that I didn't do. And it takes time to make that shift. But I also think it helps to focus, just like it helps to focus on gratitude. It helps to focus on what I want in a positive relationship, or how I view a healthier relationship. And I think the more my view of what a healthier relationship is, or what I am looking for, comes into play, the more chances I'll have of actually attracting that. Also, the more that I'm willing to grieve old losses and let go of old relationships, and stop expecting someone else to come in and fix me or fix my life or save me, so to speak, then I won't attract those kinds of guys anymore, because that's not what I'm looking for in a relationship anymore. And it was kind of nice to talk to her and kind of put that into perspective, and realize that, there's been a lot of times in my life, even in the past year, where I just wanted someone else to come in and take care of everything, because I just didn't want to do it anymore. And it's so funny, because I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm struggling to ask for help, because I feel like I've been asking for help this whole time that I've been sick, and I just want to be better. I just want to have a new job. I just want to take care of myself. I just want to do things for myself. And I'm frustrated that I can't do all the things that I want to do. And I need to stop being frustrated for that and being grateful for that, because it means that I've shifted, that I've changed. I'm not looking for someone to come in and do it for me. I'm, embarrassed of the idea of people coming in and seeing my mess. I want to clean it up. I want to make it nice for other people. I want to, let my insides out, I guess. I want things to feel like home, to feel safe, to feel comfortable where I'm at. And I want other people to feel comfortable and safe when they come to my house. I want to create a different environment than the one that I grew up in. And I've recreated the environment I grew up in, because that's what I grew up with. So that's what was comfortable. And now it's not comfortable anymore. But it's hard to change, to shift, to make something new comfortable. So it's kind of like I've got to the point where I'm uncomfortable with the environment that I grew up in, and uncomfortable with having recreated that. So I know I want something different, but it's creating something different, and letting go of the old and shifting to the new. And again, it's recognizing that takes time, toward a space, to make the changes, to do the little things. And it is the little things and the little changes, and the more little things and little changes I make, the better I feel. And the little things that I start cleaning up and rearranging in my house, the better I feel, and the more comfortable I will feel. And hopefully it will make other people feel more comfortable, and then I will attract healthier people because I will feel healthier, or attract the type of relationship that I want to be in, because that's the vibe that I'm giving out instead of the old one. See, these are all the ideas and the concepts that run through my head, and it's fun to talk to my friend because we both fantasize about having some really good relationship, because we've just had a lot of crappy relationships. But it was also nice to remind her that I'm learning to have healthier relationships and conversations, like with my sister and with my friends and with other people. So it's kind of practice for future dating relationships, but at the same time it's nice to know that I can still feel loved and filled up without having to have a man in my life. I mean, I have my adopted dad. He's awesome. And my brothers are awesome, but they live in another state, so it doesn't do me any good here. But, just recognizing that the voids, or the what I think is empty and trying to get filled by another person, can be filled by multiple people, or it can be filled by God. It can be filled by loving myself, like taking care of myself, allowing God to help me fix myself and fill myself up from the inside out, instead of expecting someone from the outside to fill me up, because someone from the outside can't read my mind, and they don't always do what I want, and then I end up feeling empty and lonely. And even in my marriage, I felt empty and lonely, and I'm like, I'm married, it's not supposed to feel that way. But it felt that way because I wasn't taking care of myself, because I was expecting someone else to do it for me. And I think my ex was expecting me to do it for him, and kept trying, but we had communication issues. Um, so even just learning how to communicate with other people, and accepting when they're busy or when I'm busy, and setting boundaries, and just a lot of learning. It's good practice, it's good things. And so it's also, and talking to my friend, realizing, telling her that she has to grieve the loss of the fantasy, or the idea of what she wanted in her relationship, because she broke up with someone recently, and it's been hard for her. And but it was hard for me when my relationship went sour. So it's nice to be able to remind her how she helped me, and that it takes time. Grieving takes time, and that you're not just grieving the loss of the relationship. You're grieving the loss of the idea of what the relationship was going to be, or what you thought it would mean, and the expectations of what you had of how the other person was going to change, or how they were going to fix, make you feel, or whatever it is. So it was an interesting conversation with my friend today, which really didn't have a whole lot to do with what today is. The only thing we talked about that was kind of today was talking about vitamins and stuff to do for me to feel healthy, and that I should go see a doctor and do a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know all the stuff I need to be doing, or I think I do, which is part of my problem. I don't want to ask for help, which is another part of my problem. Need to do a little better at that. But it's also, like she pointed out, when she doesn't feel good, she doesn't want to do anything. Like, there's no motivation to do stuff because you don't feel good. And that is so true, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not turning on my laptop and trying to think when my head is killing me every like 10 seconds or longer. Sometimes it doesn't give me a break, like tonight. And the later I stay awake, the worse it is. But I also, I took a nap today too, like I did yesterday, because I didn't sleep for very long because my head keeps waking me up. So I hope it's better tonight, because I turned the AC on today. So I hope, because it'll be a little bit cooler, that I might sleep a little bit better. But I don't know how that's going to work. So a little bit hoping to feel better, because I don't want to be sick or tired, or whatever the case may be. But I'm also grateful that I can focus on other things and start seeing myself do little things. And for all the things that I've been able to learn about myself, and learning to trust God, and that He's been taking care of me, and all the little miracles that I have seen in my life since I have been focusing on today, because I've been aware of all the little miracles. I've been aware of all the little things going on. I've been a lot more aware of my changed responses, and how things have been shifting, and what I want in my life. And I think, yesterday, just being excited that I did dishes, and suddenly it didn't seem so overwhelming to be able to clean up my house. It's going to take me a really long time if I just do it that way, but it could actually get done. And then today, again, realizing that I don't want someone else to come in and fix my life. I want to fix it myself. I want to be self-reliant. I want to get out there and do stuff. I want to be able to make the money myself so I don't have to worry about somebody else paying the bills or not paying the bills. I don't want to be in that situation. And I'm like, obviously it's my fault I'm in the situation I'm in, but I'm willing to take responsibility for that. I'm willing to try to do things to make my situation better. But I'm limited as to what I can do right now because I just can't seem to get my energy back, and I keep getting sick from this stupid whatever virus thing I had. But I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm learning how to do little things every day. And I know that each of those little things is going to add up and slowly start changing. And it's just one of those things, as I look back or as I do these videos, I realize that I want different things now. I expect different things from myself. I accept more things about myself. I'm nicer to myself. I get excited and, proud of myself for doing something like dishes, proud of myself for putting my dishes away and going out with a headache, which is not fun driving with a headache. Migraines and driving don't mix, but I needed a filter so I could turn my air conditioning on, and I needed to not be hot. So I did what needed to be done, even though I didn't feel good, and I can do that without feeling like I overdid or did too much. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful that I could just rest in a nice, cool place today. And I'm grateful I could have a little bit of a nap, and I'm grateful I can do these little videos and have conversations with my friends that help me to see the changes that I'm making, or my perspective, my goals, my ideas about relationships even that have changed. And they're positive things in my life. These are all things that I'm able to see because I'm focusing on today. I'm not, stuff about tomorrow pops up, things that need to happen tomorrow or that I would like to happen in the future at some point. Yeah, those things come to mind. And it's not bad to plan for the future, but I also am aware that it's flexible, it's changeable, and just because it's what I want doesn't necessarily mean it's what I'm going to get. But if I focus on what God wants for me, He's always going to lead me in the right direction, or in a direction that leads to positive things, even if I have to go through hard things to get there. And sometimes the direction that I choose to go isn't the best direction, and I end up doing things that hurt myself or others unintentionally. That's never my intention. But, we all do that. We all make mistakes, but that's how we learn, and we learn to change and shift and go in a different direction. So I feel like even though I've been struggling, I've been learning so much the past 66 days. And I'm really grateful for all the things that I've been able to learn. And yeah, I've just been very grateful for all the things that I've been able to learn. And my brain just kind of froze. I think the screen did a weird thing where it froze. So I hope it didn't split this video into two, because I really hate having to try to edit things together when I put it on YouTube. But I didn't think I was talking that long. But now I've lost my train of thought, so I'm sorry. This is me. I'm very easily distracted, which you should know by watching all of my videos. And there are some things about me that just don't change or won't change because that's just my personality. And I don't think there's anything wrong with my personality. Maybe sometimes I get a distorted view of things or a distorted view of myself. And I think during this process, it's kind of like cleaning the windows off, viewing myself in a different light, and accepting who I am for who I am, and being grateful for that and having fun with that, instead of berating myself because I don't fit into some, square peg or whatever it is, or I don't fit in with certain people. And I don't have to change who I am to be with someone. And if I feel like I have to change who I am to be with someone, then maybe that's not someone I should be with, because it's not healthy for me. And I'm grateful that I can see that. It doesn't mean that I won't ever be in an unhealthy relationship again. I see the concept, I understand the idea, and and right now it's like, yay, I get that. But I also know it's really easy for me to slide back into my old stinking thinking and say or do stupid stuff. And I know sometimes I get really stubborn, and sometimes when I get really stubborn, I make really stupid choices because I just don't want to admit that I'm wrong, or I just don't want to take advice from other people. So it's always better for me to be like in a humble position, or a position where I'm willing to learn and listen to others and look at it and say, okay, what can I learn from this? Or how true is this? Does this work for me or does it not work for me? And not be offended or go on the defensive, which is hard for me because I think going on the defensive is my default setting. So I feel like some of my default settings are kind of shifting and they're loosening their grip, which is really kind of cool in this focusing on today thing and just seeing things a little bit more clearly. So I like that. And I liked talking to my friend because it helps put things in perspective and we get to share analogies and help each other because we understand each other, which is really cool. So I like that. It was a nice conversation. Apparently, we were on the phone for 3 hours, which I don't even know how that happened, but I like to talk and she likes to talk, and there you go. So, I'm just really deprived for conversation because, anyway, I don't know. But I did, like I said, put some dishes away. I did go get a filter and turn my air conditioning on, and I did read my scriptures and meditationals today. I'm sad. I was going to watch conference and my head was hurting and I was sleeping, and then my friend called me and then I was just like, and that's just going to have to wait till tomorrow. But I will try to watch them tomorrow because I really do love that. I just wish I really felt better. But today wasn't all horrible, and if nothing else, it's reminding me of all the things that I'm learning as I focus on today, and all of the little things and the little changes in myself that I get to see because I'm aware of what I'm doing today instead of trying to fix my past or plan my future in detail and then being disappointed because it doesn't work out. So I think it's a good thing, the things that I'm learning. Um, Lots of good things, I think. But I also think that my head hates me, and I hope it decides it likes me better tomorrow. But it's making it difficult for me to think right now. So I think I'm done. And I don't know if anything I said tonight made sense. I think I was kind of all over the place. So sorry for my random spastastic comments. But if you like them or find them entertaining or helpful, you can hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe do some writing.